Hi there, welcome back. I'm Sydney Brown, and this is the Writing and Publishing Resource for Beginners. So today we're going to talk about researching book marketability. Now, obviously, this is going to be at a higher level. We'll go deeper on some other videos, but for this, I really want to stick with just the high level, obvious stuff because this is really complex. There's a lot to it. It would really behoove you to really dig in if you're trying to make money from your stories. So we're going to talk first about, just kind of understanding the importance of researching books, ideally before you start writing them, the methods of researching, and then we're going to go into tips for how to maximize your book marketability. All right, so if you're ready, if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe. You're going to find a lot of really great stuff on our channel. This is right now all free training, and my goal is to keep this free by you subscribing, if you will. Like the videos, leave comments on the videos. I do come in and interact through the comments. In the description, you're going to find a lot of really good resources, as well as a writing environment, a community that you're welcome to come to absolutely free as well. All right, so without further ado, let's dive in. So when we're talking about marketability and the importance of researching it, it really is something that, okay, so there's two scenarios. Let's go with this. One scenario, you have a story in you and you need to get that story out. There is a good chance that someone is out there waiting, just hoping, scouring books, trying to find a story that will help them in their situation. Whatever the situation is, there is someone who is already waiting for your story to be told. You can help them. And if that's the case, then you need to learn to research and to market your book after you do your story, because in that case, your story is about your impact and your purpose more than the profit, right? Now, the other side of that is, and generally this will be fiction and sometimes nonfiction as well, but the other case is you are a writer and your passion is writing and you want to make a living as a writer. If that is you, then what you need to do, and that's where we're at right now, right here, is you need to research before you spend your time on writing. You need to do your research and make sure that your book will be marketable. All right. So we're going to go into this. We're going to talk about how to research and why. Why does this matter? But I promise you, it does matter. And you don't want to waste your time, your resources, and definitely not your money on books that are not going to be bought, or that is in such a crowded market that you're just going to add to the mountains of the same story. You need to do enough. I'll just move on into my to my top 10. I could really go on and on about this because it is such an important topic, but I don't want to derail you and take all day on this. We're going to talk about the different methods and resources to help you determine which books have the highest potential for sales. And with that, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so the top 10 methods for researching book marketability. Whew. All right, so number one, analyze bestseller lists. So what you want to do is review the bestsellers on the platforms like Amazon, New York Times, USA Today. Identify the popular genres, the themes, and anything that's trending. Make sure that you stay fresh on all of the trending and relevant topics. Number 2, study book reviews. Now, a lot of people miss this because you think, well, that's their book review, it doesn't matter to me. You learn a lot if you read book reviews. You learn what people liked, what they loved, what they hated, things that they didn't respect, or things that they're so glad that they learned. Learn and study these book reviews of any of the genres as you start to hone in, and then really dive deep into the book reviews, the details, on once you start figuring out what your specific category or genre is. Number 3, join writing and reading communities. And that is why, we do have a writing community as well, because that synergy you get when you interact with each other helps a lot. You don't want to be out on a silo or an island all by yourself. So the writing and reading communities really help a lot. The social media groups, the book clubs, all those type things, you're able to, kind of gather insight into what readers are looking for, what they enjoy. Find out, sometimes I'll see in some groups where people say, man, I couldn't put that book down, and everybody agrees. And then another person in a different, book will talk about, oh, it was really hard to read that. It was just very triggering, but it was a really, really good book. So you realize as you start, really delving into what people are saying, you realize, okay, so maybe I should, not be so, negatively triggering, but triggering is not a bad thing necessarily. Triggering is a good thing if it grabs them. Number 4, follow industry news and trends. So stay informed about the publishing industry by following blogs, podcasts, newsletters, things like that cover the trends and the announcements and the market analysis. Anything that adds education and knowledge to what you're doing, what you're investing your time and your money in, you need to stay abreast of all of that. Number 5, monitor successful authors. Study the works and the marketing strategies of successful authors in your genre specifically, all over in general, but specifically in your genre, to learn, from their experience so that you don't have to make the same mistakes. Number 6, use keyword research tools. This is a really big help, and it helped me as I was getting started. I didn't know it existed at first, but if you utilize the tools like, Google Trends, Amazon Keyword Tool, or KDP Rocket, things like that, it will help you identify popular search terms and topics. Once you know what people are asking for, you can give them the answers. Number 7, attend conferences, workshops, things like that. So you want to participate in writing conferences, workshops, webinars, anything like that you can network with other industry professionals, gain insights into market trends. I've been in some webinars where just, you think you're there for this, and you paid, your couple $100 for this little bit of what you thought you were coming for. And just in conversation, someone says, oh yeah, well, if you go over to this place, they're taking pitches right now. And you're like, head explodes. You're like, I didn't even know I was going to get that nugget. So by doing that, you're able to network and figure out something new that may open another door for you. So just know that if you're in this industry and you're taking it seriously, get in it. Number 8, research literary agents and publishers. Investigate the submission guidelines and the preferences of agents and publishers in your genre to identify, what the market demands are, the opportunities. Just kind of always have your finger on the pulse of what's going on specifically in your genre, because at any time that could change. So if you're still thinking like last year, this year could be an entirely different realm. So you just need to make sure that you're staying abreast of what's happening. Number 9, seek feedback from beta readers. Now, you probably already know the feedback thing and constructive criticism, but it really is super important, because when you share your book with someone, or your ideas, and maybe a draft, to a diverse group of people, not just your best friend who's going to say they love it, but to kind of pick out 2 or 3 people in kind of a wide spectrum of lifestyles and get their opinions, then you're better able to learn how to hone your writing to fit the reader expectations of a broader audience. Now, number 10, conduct surveys or polls. Like Google Form is a really great way to do it. Use social media, email, surveys, different things like that, and directly ask your target audience, the people you think is your audience. Ask them the questions. Ask them, what do you prefer? I've done this before, and I had a list of, gosh, I don't know, it was probably 30 different subgenres. And I was surprised at how many people said steamy romance and, young adult, kids books. And so it's kind of funny. Your readers don't just read one genre. They may have a favorite, but maybe they're also buying books for their kids. Maybe they're also buying books, you don't know. So ask them and get those answers and pay attention to what you learn when you do your research. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to the next section.